Hi everybody, welcome back to Agrarian Skies, revisited, redone, whatever. Episode 10 with me, Sid, and as usual it's a Minecraft world, it's raining. So, I'm wearing the gold armour that I things just because I realised I'm not actually playing Vintage Story, and there's actually no negatives to wearing armour. You don't get hungry faster, it doesn't weigh you down, it doesn't slow you down, it doesn't do anything to you, so might as well have the additional defence, even if it's a bit cack. And I have just been pulverising the metal gravels that we've processed, and I've used the pulveriser because you get ore doubling. Oops, hello. And yeah, between episodes I have sorted my storage, so ingots, sifting thing, saplings, blocks, dirt in the dirt chest, where else, mob drops, things, wood, seeds, gravels, eggs, that's flint, just flint in there, so we'll stick flint in there. These are not yet sorted, but that's going to be miscellaneous, and we'll get we would nominally get those done bigger and better, and so on and so forth. However, I did say that when we reach episode 10, ooh, interesting. These are different. I did say that we would be finishing the series at this point. I know, sad. Nobody wants to finish the series, but things. So can you? I'm guessing then that because that's different. I thought just assumed that was the same. No, those are actual. Okay, that's just those straight doubled. Ah, okay. I don't mind. I'm 48 thing there. So, this is going to be the last episode of Agrarian Skies. We're not going to push the quests very far. You know, I've got nothing to prove in doing it. I've completed this, so it's no biggie. We have got sheep, we've got moo cows, we've got chickens over here. So we're starting to get those, and how were we continuing onwards? I would be moving out, building more outputs, breeding them. I would probably be, for example, bone mealing the dirt, because, well, the grass I should say, because I really could do with some grass seeds. Now I can get them, not grass seeds, wheat seeds. I can get them. Oh, hello. Plum sapling. If I'd have known that, that would have been something that happened a lot earlier. But what we're after is actually, well, put this in the words of Crichton, twist my nipple nuts and call me Mabel. We are getting so many things from this. What's that, a banana tree? Banana saplings. Cool. Asparagus seeds, apple saplings. Well, there you go. I completely forgot about that, didn't I? And I've been sat here on all this bone meal, waiting for doing all of this, and yeah, I'll get rid of that. There you go. So that was a surprise. But yeah, so there's not a huge amount of things to do really. I'm going to just stick these away for now, because it kind of after the fact pointless really. We've just discovered this one thing. Oh, I can eat a white mushroom, that's food. Okay, that's fine. But is it not? Can I sleep? No. Okay, that's finished sifting again, that's fine. So if whatever I put in there, if I put it in there, it doubles it. Stupid question. If I put in nickel sand, what do I get? So I suppose the question I'm looking at here is it worth hammering the gravel before you put it into the pulverizer, take it all the way to the sand stage, because then you're still getting the extras, although I think by this point we're largely there. I really want this rain to go away. Please be night time. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can make raisins. I can make a fruit salad. If I had a mixing bowl and a cutting board, which I haven't really, I can make grape juice, grape jelly if I had a saucepan. So clearly there are a lot of things we can do with stuff. So that's a morsel, that's a morsel. So a morsel, they are, yeah, that's half a haunch, isn't it, for a morsel? But what I do want to do, before I process all of this stuff, is I'm gonna hope that I can stick this into a smeltery. I can, that's good. So I need 2 more pieces of iron. And ideally what I would like to do is just expand this smeltery a little bit, just a touch. So I need another 3, 6, 12 seared, well, 12 seared brick blocks, which I've got those. I don't suppose I have any. I have 1, so I need 11. I need 9. Let me just double check the recipe on those. No, on that. Grout is sand, clay, sand, gravel and clay. That's all easy. Right, so yeah, I just need to go and get myself some gravel going. We have got a full thing of lava now, so there's no reason why I couldn't actually pipe cobble directly into this and just keep piling it through, because this basically is infinite. But that's fine, we'll do that in the background. Get a couple more ingots because I want a hopper. And let's talk about Agrarian Skies, because I have really enjoyed coming back here, and if I could get rid of this rain I'd feel a lot happier. Nim 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 nim. Give me oh, thank you. It's like they listened. I only need 1, I don't need 2. I don't know why I've been making 2. I'm only making, oh, I do need 2 actually, because I need an actual receptacle, don't I? Okay. Yes, I do. So the first thing I wanted to do was get a hopper in and come underneath here. Plant that there. Plant that there, and then as I smelt anything it will just get sucked straight down into the hopper, so that makes life a little bit easier. I mean, I do have to go down and grab it, that's the only real downside. I suppose I could have taken that out and, you know, done something, but it doesn't matter, it's not important. So let's just stick let's stick those in, shall we? We'll do the shiny metal. So yeah, this has been a real blast coming down memory lane, and obviously there's a huge amount left of this mod pack. You know, just in this we've got we're only 60% on the Learning Sky block. We haven't touched Hell's Kitchen, which is all of the power. Yeah, this stuff from, I think it was Pam's Harvey's craft store. Yeah, Hunger Overhaul, possibly. We've got this stuff, which is all about the creation of steel and I think it's Tinker's Mech Works. Was maybe wrong on that. We've got the bees, the death of every series as a running joke. Of course, we've got Thorncraft and Blood Magic. So all of that's in there. And it's original. This is old school Thorncraft. I have played it. We've got for the hoarding, we've got all of the storage options to play with, all of the things. Going with the flow, that's all to do with the fluids. And then there's the end, which we haven't even unlocked yet. So huge amount of content that could be a thing. Now, like I say, I've done this before. I never really intended to play this all the way through to completion because I've done it before. And it is very grindy. I mean, there's a few comments have been about how grindy this is. This is a grindy pack. At this point, it would become less grindy because, you see, the next thing I would do here is I'm going to expand this up a level. We're going to build a clock and just a minute, get rid of that. And it will just empty the whatever I stick in or thing would hopper into there, and there's lots of ways we can make this work for us. So yeah, but it has been an absolute blast. I've really enjoyed it, and we're now just getting to the point where automation is becoming much more of a reality. We've got this automated, we've got the we can get down here and we can get this automated quite easily. And we're almost at the point where I can get my 50% of this as sand, and then I can make some grout, which is good. So let me whack you through. You should turn into sand with this 50% chance of dust, I think, or a 10% chance of dust or whatever. There you go, dust, which is free clay, of course. Really is interesting coming back to the Minecraft 1.6.4 versions of the game. I'm just going to get rid of daytime. It'll also reset any ring counters, hopefully. This version of Minecraft is so old, and I've often said that I don't always agree with the direction of travel that Minecraft is taking. This is, a personal preference. I'm not. Do they only smell 1 to 1? They smell. Oh, right. So I don't get to double them. Okay, fine. It doesn't really matter. Double them one way, double them all the other. It really doesn't matter that much, does it? What does matter is I need that sand. So, some more questions and some comments. First things first, there was been a number of questions from people saying, how did I get Agrarian Skies on 1.6.4? Now, in my case, I downloaded it from CurseForge, from the Overwolf launcher. I downloaded it some time ago. I've been planning to do this for a long time, well over a year or two, and it sat there in the queue of mod packs and things I've looked at to play with. So the time I downloaded it, it was on the CurseForge launcher. It appears that it is no longer on the CurseForge launcher. However, it is on the... Oh, hang on a second. Let me just go and double check. I think... Oh, no, I'll have to go and double check which one it is, but I'll be back in a second. Yes, right, it is on the Technic launcher, so that's a way to get this. If you want to play this again and take a little trip down memory lane, Technic launcher. Technic launcher is your friend. So the second thing I wanted to mention was the survey. And my question I put out on YouTube and also on Discord. A lot of interesting things. The survey, if I were to immediately jump out of this and start another Revisited series, the the results would be Crash Landing. I'm actually surprised. I thought it would be Regrowth, but it wasn't. It was Crash Landing. There was some interesting suggestions in the alternative packs. I've got some clay somewhere, honest. So, in terms of the alternative packs, let me make a full stack. Why not? It's not like I've not got fuel somewhere. I only need 8 of those, don't I? Split them in half, do that, put half in there, like that, half in there, like so. So the first interesting suggestion I saw was to do Terra Firma Craft. So I am going to be absolutely frank. I would rather play Vintage Story than Terra Firma Craft. They are essentially the same kind of game. Well, they are essentially the same game from more or less all intents and purposes. You know, Terra Firma Craft inspired Vintage Story. I could play Terra Firma Craft. I'm not sure whether I would get a great deal of enjoyment out of it. And being brutally honest, if you're not enjoying something, you shouldn't play it. That said, there was a very interesting suggestion, and I'm not sure exactly how I would process this as a series. But the suggestion was, why don't you do a comparison between Vintage Story and Terra Firma Craft? And my kind of thought was, if I were to do 2 playthroughs at the same time, one of Terra Firma Craft, vanilla Terra Firma Craft, not sure what version, I mean, probably 172 would be the iconic version. So 172 Terra Firma Craft and vanilla-ish. There was some quality of life motto not living without in Vintage Story. Vanilla-ish Vintage Story. And my thoughts were, if I could actually do episodes, so we do 50-50 of each episode is 50-50, or even if I could work out a way of doing it split screen. That would be difficult because that would be post commentary, and I'm not very good at post commentary. Let's be honest. Let's just. I tend to. Well, as you know, I work live. My methods, if you like, are very much things that I'd like to take you out of there and pop you in there. I think I can do this. We'll find out, won't we? Oh, I need 3 more. I thought, yeah, it's 12, not 9, idiot. But essentially, play them at this roughly so they're running in parallel, and just look at the differences. Look at the differences in ore detection. Look at the survival. There are a lot of similarities between Terra Firma Craft and Vintage Story, but in all honesty, there are also a lot of differences. So that was an interesting one. It's not something that's going to happen immediately because I'm still in my own mind trying to work out the logistics of how I would pull it off. But that doesn't mean to say it's not a good idea, or it doesn't mean to say it's a bad idea. Do you need to be on the same level then? I mean, I don't mind, as it's not. It's a bigger smeltery. So that's that. So interesting idea. I do love it. It's just a very big question about how I'm going to actually achieve it. There were some suggestions for some fairly hardcore Terra Firma Craft packs, and I've done them, and I didn't enjoy them huge. I mean, Terra Firma Craft is in itself hardcore. I'm not proving anything by playing a pack that is difficult, other than that I can play the pack that is difficult. Smooth stone, redstone torch, and redstone. How much redstone have I actually got? I've got 2. I need more redstone. I also need to cook up. Let me do a half stack of smooth stone, then I've got it, haven't I? Once these are finished anyway. Where was I going? Yeah, so I don't play video games to prove anything. I don't need to. I'm just playing them for fun. So a lot of the real hardcore packs, a lot of the packs which are massive in content and massive grindy, the older mods of the world, some of the big ones where, you know, if it's got Avataria in it, I generally am not interested. So Crash Landing is a suggestion for a revisit. Now, the pack that did get my interest, because it allows me to kind of, I won't say revisit, because it's not a revisit, but it gives me an option to do a continuation of a series, if you like. Has been suggested is a pack called the Homestead mod, which looks interesting. I've had a play. It's quite a chill in some respects. It's a lot of exploration based. There's ruins, there's quests, reminiscent somewhat of Life in the Woods, a little. So I think my next series following on from this is going to be in the Homestead mod. I am thinking I am going to entitle. I'm not thinking. I'm kind of half decided. I'll be honest. Whoa! Here they go. Yeah, I've kind of thinking. So my thoughts are a series called Homestead in the Woods, based in the Homestead mod. That's what we're calling it, Homestead in the Woods, and we'll make it rustic. There's a phrase that is used which I'm not a big fan of, but it's probably the accurate phrase, which is cottagecore. And I still need one more, don't I? Damn you! Dust. Have I got? I've got some sand. We've got dust. Hang on, let me just double check. Sifting dust. Let me go and turn this sand into dust, and then that will give me a chance of just getting I don't need a lot, but I need one more piece of redstone. So I think that is where we're going to go. We're going to start with a new series next week. It is going to be hopefully a fairly chill, building-based pack with a lot of exploration, a lot of travelling, just taking my time, enjoying the scenes. It's a shader-based pack. I will be playing with fairly light shaders because it might be all right now. I've cleaned my computer. It might not make the fan go quite so bad, but you know, I ain't banking on nothing. And then once we have completed that, and I don't know how long that will be, but it's possibly going to be what, 20 to 30 episodes, so 3 to 6 months, give or take. There we go, got it straight off the bat. Lovely. Right, so I need you. I need a redstone torch. Do I have a stick anywhere? Stick, thank you. And yeah, but I do have to say I really have enjoyed coming back to typical. Coming back to Agrarian Skies. It's been an absolute blast coming back and just reliving some of the old days. And I say we are going to come back. I'm definitely going to do Crash Landing. I may actually do a short playthrough on my own just to refresh my memory, I'll be honest. Right, so that is, if I remember rightly, if I stick gold in there, let's just see what happens. I can't remember which way around this goes. I should also probably just make sure that I'm not making a spawnable area. But yeah, this has been great. That mob farm is working well. It needs to be a little tiny bit closer, because in theory I can make it there and they'll just keep spawning, because that's the things. I made it too far away, but it was an extension of the extension, so that's working. That's good. So as soon as that finishes, I don't want to put the silver in. Lead, no, let's go with iron, because iron and gold don't mix. We're just going to process this up and I'll be back in a second. Oh, right, so while we're waiting for those, I've also planted a few of these things. So we've got these things, and obviously I could go down there and bone meal the heck out of that grass, and everything will be good and happy. This is great, does the job lovely, and we can go down here, and in the chest here is a whole load of metal, which is great. So pulverizer to pulverizer, cobble to gravel, automated. Like I say, we could pipe the gravel out of there into the automated thing. We could move all of this down there, have a whole thing that pulls this out. That goes into a drawer controller from storage drawers, which then goes into compacting drawers, which hold all of the dust and does all of the work for us. And needless to say, if we were continuing this as a series, that is exactly what we'd be doing. But as it stands, I think we're probably about done. The mob farm, remembering how to do that took a while. It's still not perfect, and but you know, once you've built a mob farm, it's second nature, really. The only thing was realistically the distance from the island to the top there. So the mobs, you are not regenerating, so you are going to die. Once you go, yeah. So you have to come closer to get them to work, which, you know, if I were doing it another time, build it over there. The only drawback to that is if you get one of the regenerating special mobs, they'll never die. They'll just sit there. Probably the nickel. Oh, rare, innerly peaceful skeleton of apathy. Okay, that's somewhat random. Yeah, so there are other ways of killing them, but on the whole, I've really enjoyed revisiting Agrarian Skies. I'm definitely going to do some revisits to other packs. The next one will be Crash Landing. That is the one that everybody asked for, so that is what we will do. I will probably do Regrowth at some point. I may even do original Terra Firmacraft at some point, although I am very intrigued by the idea of trying to do a side-by-side or back-to-back comparison. And that's kind of the thing. We could do it so you put, as I say, split screen, difficult to do, post voiceover, not really my bag. The other one is I could do 15 minute section of Terra Firmacraft, take us through so far, and then play the same thing roughly to the same point in Vintage Story. Or I could do Terra Firmacraft one episode, Vintage Story another episode, bang bang, and alternate between the two. It's just difficult. The mechanics of this is not quite as simple as I would like in my mind. So, but that's fine. Anyway, I think on that note, we're going to try and get ourselves a nice little screenshot. That's not what I wanted. That should give me what I wanted. Let's get an F2, get an F5, get an F1 back, and oh yeah, and I planted the cactus as well, so I can I can poke myself, just remind myself I'm still alive. But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching and joining me on this little trip down memory lane. It has been enjoyable. I'm fairly certain the bees would not have been enjoyable. Mariculture would probably have been a bit of a pain as well. But honestly, it's a long time since I did mariculture. I honestly cannot remember half of what there is to remember about it. But on that note, we're going to call this episode here. Next episode, new series. Let's see how that goes. And until next time, bye for now. Thanks for watching and see you soon.